COVID-19, aka the Wuhan virus. Social distancing. We've lost our fucking minds. Not to belittle the severity of the coronavirus, Wuhan virus, COVID-19, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But goddamn, people. Social distancing. We are being mandated. We are being told. We are being directed and ordered to stay away from gatherings of more than 10 or 15 or 20 people or whatever. What in the ever-loving fuck is this horse shit? Oh, let's dig into it. So, the Wuhan virus. It's a novel virus. We've never seen it before. Well, it's sort of true, but not really true. The two strands of COVID-19 we're dealing with right now, one's the L strand, one's the S strand, are manipulated by man. The S strand being the deadly one, the L one not being so bad. The S one was injected, infused, whatever the right biological term is, HIV. How do two different viruses blend together? Naturally? I'm gonna go with no. The term people use are zoological. No. Not unless you got an HIV infected monkey fucking a coronavirus infected zebra. I don't see it happen to people. It ain't real, it ain't true. Numbers, data, facts. Look at what's being reported. They're telling you X amount of people are infected with the coronavirus. Well, which strain? How many from the L? How many from the S? You've heard a bunch of stuff about this being a lung eater and all that stuff, right? Well, you've also heard reports about it feels like a mild cold, or like a mild flu. Well, there's a reason for that. The L series is the one in like a cold. It's like a flu. It's not very deadly. There are some people that have passed away from it. Obviously, they had underlying medical conditions on top of having this, mainly respiratory type functions, or respiratory illnesses, excuse me. The S virus, we call it an S virus because it has protein spikes. That's what the S comes from. The spikes are what embeds itself into your body, into your cells, and attacks and fun stuff. So the S virus is the one that's the deadly one, but you're not getting that reporting from anybody that's segregating the two. They can. All they got to do is look at the virus itself out of an infected patient's bloodstream. It'll be there. It'll have the spikes or it won't. They won't report that. They're reporting the numbers of infected or number of cases have jumped, skyrocketed, exploded, whatever. Well, so if you're not testing anybody for the virus, you're not going to have any numbers. The more people you test for the virus, the more numbers you're going to get. Not because more and more people are being infected and this thing is growing exponentially, but because you're finally testing people. It's common sense. Is it an infectious virus? Oh, obviously. Are people getting it? Yes. Are other people getting it now that didn't have it back in January? Yeah. But to what number? There's been no random sampling. There's been no population study. Nobody knows the actual infection rate, which is called the R0, on this virus. They're guesstimating, but they don't have the actual data. They haven't tested anybody other than those that are symptomatic. Well, if you only test people that are symptomatic, your likely results are going to be positive. How about start taking random samplings? How about trying to get a baseline of how infectious this is based off how many people in a given population are positive or not positive? I don't know. It's just kind of a theory. Might work. Might give you some kind of data point. Anyway, social distancing. I hope to God this is something I never hear again when this is all fucking said and done. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so fucking tired of listening to people preaching and proselytizing Oh, we've got to be safe. We got to save grandma and grandpa. We've got to stay away from everybody. You got to be more than 10, or can't have more than 10 people in a gathering. 6 foot away. I just have this envisionment of law enforcement personnel having to now have a tape measure as part of their standard kit. Why? To make sure you're more than 6 foot away from each other. I can just see them like they used to do. Florida did it a while back with the bikini sizes. The police officers had to walk around with tape measures and measure the bikinis to make sure they covered enough area. Otherwise, you got a fucking ticket. I digress. And here we are, accepting it, bringing this into our vernacular as a society, as if it's something that's needed. It's something that should be done. It's the right thing to do. I'll take you back just a couple of years to where we started wanting the safety mechanisms of the federal government to protect us against foreign people or foreign invaders or whatever. September 11th, 2001. Y'all know what happened. What came about after that? What came about directly because of that? It was an act passed by Congress, signed by the president at the time. Oh yeah, the Patriot Act. That's a wonderful piece of legislation, isn't it? 19 years, or soon 18 and a half years later, we're still dealing with it. The FISA court, or the FIS court, you know, the ones that allow for the unconstitutional spying on American citizens without going through the due process part of the Bill of Rights. You know, that court? Yeah, that was created because of the Patriot Act. Let's see, metadata. Oh yeah, Patriot Act. All the other stuff that kind of came along with it. We traded a good portion of our sovereignty. We traded a good part of our freedom for the safety net of the federal government in reaction to what happened on 9/11. Chalk some of that up to human nature. Everybody wants to feel safe. Everybody wants to do something, or they want something done on the asset of a catastrophe, national disaster, you know, that kind of stuff. So we got the Patriot Act. Begs the question, what are we going to have after this? Is social distancing now going to become the norm? Admittedly, I'm an antisocial person. I don't like large groups. I don't like being around a bunch of people, because when you have a bunch of people, you tend to have a bunch of stupid people, and that's really what I don't like, is stupid. So I tend to stay away from people. So I shouldn't say I'm antisocial, I'm just anti-stupid. Probably a better way to say that. But is there going to be a mandate now? Is it going to become a permanent fixture, a permanent law in our society, where if we gather collectively, you know, First Amendment thing, you know, just a small part of our rights, freedom to assemble. Let's say I want to have a block party. I want to invite my neighbors out to have a cookout on the 4th of July and celebrate our independence, or the anniversary of our independence. But, you know, I have to, you know, curtail it. I can only have 10 people. I've got 4 in my family, so I can only invite 6 people over. If you're a family of 7, you gotta leave Junior at home. Sorry, it's the law. Yeah, I don't fix vegan shit when I can barbecue season, by the way, so you can squash that shit too. Anyway, so we're gonna accept it as part of our culture, as part of our society. Why? Oh, to protect grandma and grandpa. Okay, let's dig into that one a little bit. Let's get something straight right off before I really delve into this part of it. Nobody gets out of this thing called life alive. We all die. Every one of us. Every single one of us will die. Fact of life. Jesus died. Came back alive, but he died. We're all gonna die, whether it be by allergic reaction to a bee sting, a lightning strike, drowning, fire, explosion, ran over by a car, fell down some steps and broke your neck, somebody threw a hairdryer when you're into the tub when you're taking a bath, whatever. Natural causes, old age, whatever you want to call it. We're all gonna die. You have to understand that. We should live our lives by our moral compasses. We should live our lives the way we want to, as long as we don't infringe upon other people. As long as they don't infringe upon me, I don't infringe upon them, I'm going to live my life per my moral standard. You live your life per your moral standard. If our lives happen to collide because our moral standards are not in line with each other, okay, we deal with it. But Grandma and Grandpa, how many of you motherfuckers that are preaching and proselytizing this whole fucking social distancing and quarantine shit to protect Grandma and Grandpa have visited your Grandma and Grandpa and not washed your hands before you walked into their house, before this bullshit started? How many of you? There's probably some of you, because your Grandma and Grandpa had some kind of issues, medical issues, and it was known and you were dealing with it. And that's cool. That's fine. Kudos to you. But to you other dumbasses, how many of you motherfuckers washed and sanitized your hands before you walked in there? How many of you motherfuckers kept yourself away from them when you had a little bit of the sniffles or the flu, a little sniffle, a little cold? How many of you walked up and gave them a big hug? Everybody wants to hug Grandma and Grandpa, totally understand it. But all of a sudden now you're jumping on your moral fucking high ground because the herd is all now collectively social distancing themselves, and everybody thinks it's the right thing to do to protect Grandma and Grandpa. Fuck you and your hypocrisy. You motherfuckers piss me off every time I read this shit. The beaches in Florida. Okay, somebody riddle me this. When we're at a beach, we typically stay the fuck away from everybody, except for who's within our own group. We in America have this personal bubble, and when you're setting up your site on a beach, you look around, you see who's nearby, you make sure you get your appropriate distance, and you plant your shit. Anybody done a study to see how long the coronavirus can live outside the body on a beach environment, in the sand or on the sand? I don't know, in the salt water. When you're those of you that've been to the Florida beaches in the summer know you don't leave anything out in the direct sunlight, because when you touch it, you're going to get that burnt imprint on your hand, right? So the outside ambient temperature may only be 90 degrees, 95 degrees. But that fucking water bottle, the outside of it's 225,000 fucking degrees Kelvin. Y'all know what I'm talking about. How many of y'all fucking did the hot dance across the sand in your bare feet walking down across the Florida beaches in the summertime? But you want to close down the beaches because of social distancing? Really? You want to close down national parks, forests, campgrounds? You want to shut down the fucking outdoors because of social distancing? I don't know about you motherfuckers, but when I go out to the woods, I stay the fuck away from everybody. Don't like people to begin with. That's a way to get away from people. But we can't do that. But you want social distancing. What, you want me to stay in my fucking house? Are you fucking high? I'm a goddamn American. 24 years military service. Served the people of this country, served the people in the state of Florida, would do it again all day long. But I gotta stay in my fucking house? Because of social distancing? Because you herd-like motherfuckers can't think for yourself. You can't reason outside of what you're being fed. You can't digest what's being fed to you and spit out the fucking bullshit and keep what's really matters. Facts, data, numbers. This disease, virus, nobody knows exactly how contagious it is. But what we can do is we can look at the current country's infection rates or infection numbers. We can look at how many have died from it. We can also look at how many people have recovered from it with and those that have recovered, how many of them had lingering issues? How many were reinfected? How many had permanent damage done to their body, whether it be their lungs or whatever? How many people have done this? All right, well, and look at the numbers. The numbers are there for you to look at. I would suggest taking China's bullshit off the fucking table. They lied to us to begin with. Who's to say they're not lying to us now about their recovery rate? But anyway, Italy. People bring up Italy. Oh, everybody's dying in Italy. No, they're not. Average age of the mortality, the average rate of those who have died from this disease is 81 years old. Over 80% of those that died had underlying medical issues on top of it. I think there's been a total of 4 people on the fucking planet under the age of 30 that have passed from it. If I'm not mistaken, 3 of them had underlying medical conditions. But it's a pandemic. We have to socially distance ourselves from everybody. We have to allow the federal government to dictate to us how far apart we have to stand from each other. We have to allow the federal government to dictate how many people can be in one spot at one time. We have to allow the federal government to dictate to us which businesses are essential, like Dollar General, and which are not. Are you fucking high? If you want to social distance yourself because you're afraid of this pandemic and you want to keep you and your family safe, by all means, stay your ass at home. I support that decision 100%, all day, every day. It's your right to be safe. It's your right to feel safe. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do with your life. If you're a business owner and you want to shut down your business or curtail your operations to where nobody comes inside, it's your business. You have every right to do so. I'll back you 100% as well. It's your investment. If you're looking out for your employees and you're looking out for your family, you're looking out for you think this is the best choice for your business, go for it. Do what you gotta do. However, when a federal government steps in and picks and chooses what is essential or not, who stays open or not, who has to curtail their business operations or change their business model to accommodate what they want, we have gone way beyond the pale on this one, folks. Let's go back a little bit too. You want to protect the public. You want to shut down businesses because there's too many people gathered around. All right? First thing you do is shut down the fucking airports. I'm not talking about international flights. That's only a part of it. I'm talking airports, period. Shut them down. Shut it all down. Train depots, bus stations, airports, shut it down. Why? Because that's the mass transit system of the United States. That's where the mass amount of people go from one place to another. And in most airports, you're confined with, once you get past security, you're confined in a confined space with a bunch of people that you have no idea where the fuck they've been, where the fuck they're going, who the fuck they've been around, but yet that stays open. Keep it open for commerce, but shut everything else down. Bus stations, train depots, same shit. Why? Because it's mass transit. What's the definition of mass transit? A whole bunch of fucking people moving at the same fucking time. You want to curtail a disease? Start there. Why are they still open? Why? Aunt Pauline and Uncle Bob's restaurant has to shut the fuck down, because they have a maximum seating capacity of 75 in their restaurant, but damn it, they better shut down. They better shut down. But that airport over there, which has 1 million people go through it every fucking day, is allowed to stay open? And you want to look out for the general safety of the public? Get the fuck out of here. Yes, a lot of you are going to bitch, whine, moan, cry, complain. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a doctor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, I'm not a doctor. It's great. Numbers don't lie. It's less than 2% mortality rate of all the cases on the planet. Period. 0.0004% of our population globally has been tested positive for this disease. Yeah, I did the math. This was as of 3 days ago. But we got to shut down Aunt Pauline and Uncle Bob's restaurant, because social distancing. When this is over, there's going to be another pandemic. There's going to be another disaster. There's going to be another war. People are going to kill people. More viruses and bacteria and bugs are going to kill more people. We're all going to die eventually. Take your precautions. Wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer, which isn't really effective against certain things because it only kills certain things, by the way, but I digress. Cover your mouth with your elbow when you cough. Wear a mask if you feel it necessary. I'll point and laugh at you, but that's just me. I'm, a little demented. Military kind of does it to you. But anyway, do what you got to do for yourself, by all means. But don't force that shit on me. Don't force that shit on me. If I want to go out and do something stupid and contract whatever fucking disease, it's on me. It's me. If I'm a dumbass and do that shit and I got a family at the house, it's on me. I deal with it. Not you. It ain't your fucking business. I have an occupation where I have to go to work. I'm in places where people that have this disease would typically go. But I have to go to work. I have to go there and do things. I don't have a choice. I rewind that. I have a choice. I could say, fuck that. Do the repercussions. But it's my choice. For you people that have been unemployed or now unemployed because of the dumbassery that's going around, what choice did you have? You can't choose to go to work because your work shut down. Your work didn't choose to shut down. They were mandated and dictated to shut down. There was an article a couple days ago about a restaurant in Michigan who basically said, fuck you, I ain't shutting down. You know what happened to them? They got boarded up. The police came with nails and boards and shut the fucking restaurant down. And people cheered. Where have we gotten to? Where? I've said it before, I just stopped the planet, I went off. I can't fathom the mindset of people who go with the herd simply because that's the direction the herd is going with. Even though they're heading for a cliff, even though they're heading for a minefield, whatever, they just follow because that's what the herd's doing. They believe that the more people that do it, the more right they are. Therefore, they can preach at those of us that are like, fuck you, I'm going that way. We look like the dumb ones until that herd goes off the cliff. Then they want to cry, whine, moan, bitch. Oh my God, why didn't somebody stop me? Because you're a dumbass. I want you out of the gene pool. Being honest. Think for yourselves. Do your research. Yes, there's a million different things going around the internet. There's a million different people who got to say this and that and put numbers out. Look for the real numbers, people. Look for the real numbers. Look at the data being pushed out. Use your brain. Look into it. Do the math yourself. Understand how this works. Research how they did research on other, like the H1N1, the swine flu and shit that came around a while back. What'd they do to fix that shit? Might find out something useful.